Hello, I'm Lori Pine, the Joy CEO, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. Today, we are going to talk about the power of forgiveness and how necessary it is for you to win. So imagine you're dragging a bag of rocks with you into every single meeting you go into. Each rock inside the bag is a grudge, a boss who didn't believe in you, a coach who might have benched you, a parent who couldn't give you what you needed, a younger you who just didn't know better yet. It's heavy. You're the only one whose back hurts because you keep lugging this back around with you everywhere you go. And today, we're going to put the bag down, or at least start to think about what it would take to put the bag down. We're going to talk about forgiving 4 groups and keep our power inside of our hula hoop. You know, that famous hula hoop that I'm always talking about. And really choose joy, because leaders who travel light go further faster. So let's dig in. This episode is really a permission slip and a plan. If you want to win in your career, in your leadership, in your life, you can't do it while hauling around a sack of rocks. Resentment on your back, joy, real joy as I talk about it, is not a perk. It's performance fuel. It's the superpower that is going to take your leadership to the next level. It's not fluff. It sharpens your decision-making, it protects your energy, and it returns you to what's inside your control and what's not inside your control. The Hula Hoop Principle reminds us of this. What's outside of the hoop might be loud, it might be obnoxious, it might be in our face, it might even haunt us, but it's not yours to carry. What's inside the hula hoop is where the real power lives. So let's start setting down some rocks, one by one. There's going to be 4 types of forgiveness that I'm going to talk about today, AKA the 4 types of rocks that you can drop. So rock number 1, we're going to forgive the younger version of you. You know, this rock has some regret. We look back at that younger version who made choices that might have been a little reckless, a little rambunctious, but we made those choices without the tools, the support, or the information that we have today. So we don't want to punish that younger version of us for not having the experience we have today. Instead, what if we offered that younger version of ourselves some grace? So the reframe of this would be, that choice taught me something I can now use to better lead. And a mantra could be, I release me from what I didn't know then. And this real set the rock down moment, past me, thank you for getting us here to today. And now I can move forward, thanking you for how hard you've worked, instead of really kind of shaming you for some of the things you just didn't know better for. Okay, rock number 2, forgive your parents, whether they were great, complicated, or messy. We're going to forgive the people who brought us to this planet. This is your rock of origin. You wouldn't be here without them. So blame can explain some sort of beginning, but it doesn't have to define your destiny in any sort of way. So we want to keep the gifts and release any of the gaps, release any of the shortcomings that they might have had. And maybe this is going to take therapy. It's going to be a lot more than a podcast episode, but we can at least start to recognize where this is a rock that you have a choice to put down. So the reframe is, I can honor what I received and still meet my own unmet needs as an adult. I don't have to wait for somebody else to do that for me today. And the mantra could be, I would honor what I was given. I release what wasn't. instead of sitting around complaining and upset and wishing for things to be different. The set down the rock moment is I choose to build for myself what I didn't get without carrying the resentment as my blueprint. So if you didn't get it, you can build it for yourself. This was a really big turning point, just a personal reflection here. When my mom passed away, I felt like my kind of whole family of origin just fell apart. And I really had to make a decision to build a family of my own here in New York. My boys were little and I was a single mom at the time. And I needed to build what I wanted on my own instead of being so tormented by the grief that it was ripped from me the way I had always known it for 40 years. And it took a lot of digging deep to really make that choice. But I can honestly tell you that what I've built today is beautiful and fulfilling, and it's made all the difference. So if that helps any one of you out there, I hope my sharing that can just be a little bit of an inspiration. Okay, rock number 3, we're going to forgive the blockers. The people who blocked our success. It might have been a boss who doubted you, a coach who didn't pick you, a friend who backstabbed you and really just devastated you. These people are not driving your life today. They are not in charge unless you hand them the keys to the car. That's the only way they have power over you. So the reframe is their choices helped sharpen my discernment. Now I know what it looks like when somebody disappoints me. And that now helps me today with boundaries and with a little bit of grit. Mantra, your choices are yours. My future is mine. You can own your own power. And the set down the rock moment, I take the lesson, but you don't get to take my energy. And rock number 4, forgive everyone else. The daily disappointments, the people who are going to miss the mark, the slights that are going to happen. Because if you carry every single one of them, your bag will keep refilling by lunchtime. And your back is going to ache from dragging around all of this garbage with you. So the reframe for this one, I can let go without pretending it didn't matter. I can just release it. Mantra, I'm traveling light. I'm choosing peace over proof that this person just wronged me. And the set down the rock moment, I don't need to collect evidence against everybody in the world. I can just release it. So let's talk about the hula hoop principle. I talk about this a lot. You've heard me say, imagine that you have a hula hoop at your feet. What's on the outside of the hula hoop is other people's opinions, old decisions that you might have made, swings in the market, timelines you don't control, promotions handed to somebody else, somebody who might not have been as deserving as you. It's the past. That's what's on the outside of the hula hoop. Those are rocks that you just do not have to carry today unless you choose to. Inside the hula hoop, your attention, your actions, your attitude, your boundaries, your follow through, and the meaning you assign to events. So if every interaction with a person is somehow some sort of slight against you, man, oh man, you are going to be picking up rocks everywhere you go. And that might not be your best path to joy. So let's think about how you can really win by owning what's inside the hula hoop, which is you. So let's do a quick check-in. Is this inside my hoop? Is this inside my hula hoop? If the answer is no, then release or somehow slightly influence it to let it go. Let it go. Like the song from Frozen. We're going to be a theme song here. We're going to let it go. If yes, then choose an action that moves you forward. You have a choice. Do you want to ruminate? Do you want to gossip? Do you want to choose differently? Do you want to focus on what's your way to win? What's your path forward? Okay, so some scripts that will help you release your rocks. Okay, boundaries. I can commit to X by Y. Anything on beyond that, let's reprioritize. So, for example, I can commit to really dropping how I look at my family of origin today. I can reprogram that. If I'm resentful that my dad doesn't pick up the phone and call me regularly, I can pick up the phone and call him. And guess what? Every time I do, he is so thrilled to hear from me. So that's my choice. I can choose to take that action. A closure script. This one could be to yourself. This belongs outside of my hoop. I'm simply choosing not to carry it anymore. I'm just not going to carry it anymore. I'm either going to forgive, I'm going to let it go, I'm going to do some sort of ritual. Maybe it's a journal entry, then I'm going to burn it to let it go. And then the last thing would be a visibility script. And this is where you're just going to give a quick update to some stakeholders. Here's what moved this week. Here's what's next. And here's where I need alignment. Visibility is really critical as you lead. And after you drop the rocks, that's when you'll use this, because lighter leaders create momentum. And it's really hard to have momentum when you're weighed down with all of these rocks and all of this baggage. And so momentum deserves visibility, and you're going to want to keep the visibility going with the momentum you have once you're able to put some of this down. Okay, so let me tell you about a time when I was literally a can of paint and I was splattering paint from that can like a Jackson Pollock painting, except it wasn't a piece of artwork. It was messy. And my calendar was a mess and I was double booked and everything was chaotic. And I had 2 young boys, a house that didn't feel like a home yet. I was in a divorce. My heart was carrying too much. I had a new team I wanted to impress, and I was saying yes to everything. I just moved from Arkansas to New York, and everything looked impressive until it didn't, until I ran out of steam. And there was a really defining moment when I had no choice but to stop carrying rocks that were not mine. They were outside of the hula hoop. And the day I stopped carrying those rocks, my decision sharpened, my energy started to come back to me instead of it being, like I said, splattered all over the place like a messy, messy painting. There was nowhere near a piece of artwork. And what happened was my confidence stopped depending upon other people's reactions to me. I didn't need their validation near as much as I had. And so it was the same work. I was the same person, but it was a different weight I was carrying. And I really think that that's the magic of the release. When we stop carrying these rocks, these weights that just do not serve us and don't belong to us, we can start keeping that paint in the bucket and actually create something beautiful instead of just this splattered mess. So I'm going to encourage you to do a 7-day Forgive to Win challenge, because I know that you have big goals. I know you want to win. But I also know that if you're like many of the people I coach inside of my private coaching, there's stuff getting in your way. So 1 week, 7 small moves, And I'm pretty sure I can promise you a pretty big shift. So write this down, or I'm going to leave it in the show notes for you if you're out and about while you're listening to this. Day 1, you are going to address younger you. You're going to write a 5-line note to your past self, and you're going to end it with, I see you, I forgive you, I love you, and we are moving forward together. Day 2, you're going to write to your parents. List 3 gifts you received and 3 needs you're meeting for yourself now. Keep the gifts, meet the needs, and as best you can, let go of the rest. You know, families are complicated. Once I became a mother, I realized just how hard it is. And I think that everybody does the best that they absolutely can, which on some days, it's really great. And on other days, nobody's getting an award. So, day 3, to the blockers, privately name them. Make a list. Who were they? Can you remember the moment? Do you know where you were? Did you feel humiliation? Did you feel shame? Were you embarrassed? And then for each one of them, write one skill that you built because of that moment. Was your resistance sharpened, discernment aligned, courage, strategic, patience? Like, what happened as a result? Because chances are something really positive came out of that. One of my defining moments was my dad telling me that I couldn't go and apply to a really expensive Ivy League college. And instead, I ended up going to a state school, and I was devastated. His reasoning was I wanted to go on to law school at that time, or so I thought, and he did not want me to graduate with enormous debt. And I really thought that I would end up a failure because I wasn't going to a fancy college like some of my friends. And there were so many lessons that came out of that for me. But he was right. In the end, he was right. I got an excellent education and I graduated cum laude with scholar athlete awards. And I ended up going to work for a Fortune 500 company right out of college. And my career took off, not because of the college I went to, but because of my own hard work, my own grit, my own values and ethics. And so I just share with you that because perhaps there's something like that that you still kind of hold on to. And maybe you can see the good that came from it. Okay, day 4, everyone else. And perhaps this one happens throughout the day, but you can just catch one micro resentment that happens throughout a day. You're in the office, you're in a commute, somebody's cut you off, somebody takes credit for work you did in a meeting. See if you can let it go. See if you can let it go in under 60 minutes. What would that be like? And note how your body feels afterwards. Are you freer? Are you lighter? Do you feel the actual release? It could be pretty amazing. Day 5, let's do a hula hoop audit. 2 columns, what's on the outside, what's on the inside. And then move one item from the rumination, so it's on the outside, to action on the inside, what you can actually control. And then take that action. What is that single next step that you need to take and commit to taking it? Day 6, an evidence bank. This should only take a few minutes, but capture 3 wins that you've noticed by traveling lighter. Maybe it's a clearer conversation, a faster decision, better sleep. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be nice? Or a calmer meeting. Something went smoother because you now have a little bit more space and not so many rocks in the bag. Okay, and day 7, a declaration. This is for you. 20 seconds, spoken out loud. Maybe you're in your car, maybe you're in the bathroom, but you're going to declare this for yourself. I'm ready to win, ready to achieve my dreams. I choose me and my joy. I release anyone and anything who no longer serve my growth, honor my values, or respect my boundaries. I keep my power inside my hula hoop. I travel light, I lead with love, and I am moving towards my goals. All right. And a little pro tip for that day 7 would be to actually record that on your phone so that you can play it back to yourself when you need a little bit of a reminder. So let's put it all together. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to drop a rock. You're going to forgive somebody, maybe even yourself. You're going to ask the hula hoop questions. Is this inside? Is it mine? Is it outside? Is it somebody else's? Then you're going to take one inside the hula hoop action. You're going to send the email. You're going to make the ask. You're going to clarify the priority. You're going to do the forgiving part that actually is going to clarify everything for you. And then you're going to share the momentum. Like once this is all done and you're feeling clearer, like you have more space, you're going to start to turn joy from a nice idea into a really strategic leadership edge because you are lighter, you are in touch with things that actually matter, and you're letting go and releasing things that no longer serve you. Okay, if this episode hit home with you, I have made you a simple one-pager, the Forgive to Win checklist. It's the 4 rocks, the mantras, the release scripts, and the 7-day challenge, and the full 7-day declaration. So I'm going to link that here in the show notes, and I hope you take the time to grab that. It will really change things, I think, for you. All of us have all 4 of these rocks that really weigh us down. But when we pay attention, do the work to put some of these in a different bag, get them out of our bag, we sure do lighten the load. So it's a pleasure to have been here with you today. If you are a mid-level leader or senior leader and you are interested in up-leveling your career, I would love to talk to you more about that. I am here to serve leaders who want coaching around their next promotion, visibility, and how to sustain exceptional performance. So get in touch with me and let's see how we can just help you win all of your goals. You don't have to carry more. You win by carrying the right load, but not the entire load. So let's put down some rocks, keep your power inside your hula hoop, and choose joy. I'm Lori Pine, the Joy CEO, and it was a pleasure to be here with you. I'm always glad to be doing it with you, and I will see you next time.